Ladies and gentlemen, let's be clear about one thing. Successful people works 12 to 40 to 80 hours per day. The most successful person on earth actually say he works 80 hours per day. But most of the people can't imagine to work that long and why it's actually necessary to work that long per day. And in today's video, I'm gonna show you how the successful person on earth managed working 80 hours per day. And with that being said, let's get right into it. I'm just for you to know, I'm Syed, 19 years old, studying in Switzerland and living since 2 months in Switzerland. I moved out from my family and I built a social media company for 2 years now. So working hard every day is actually a bare minimum for myself. So I can actually tell you from my experience why those points that we're gonna discuss in a few minutes are actually true and how they affected me. The second point is not really relatable to everybody, but it's about work and life. Just imagine for yourself, you might not be independent, I might not have a company, but you work 8 hours a day. You're having 2 kids, you have a partner, or you have family problems. And to be honest, it's never like you work 8 hours and then just sleep or do fun stuff. Sometimes you work 8 hours and still have like 3 hours of your time you have to spend on family problems, or you have to spend on I don't know, personal issues that you have, or whatever problems in your life come. It's also like work. You have to understand that working 8 hours for another company doesn't mean you only work 8 hours. Sometimes you work 10 hours, 12 hours. So respect to all the mothers, to all the parents in general, because having a kid is actually work as well. So, and in my age, I'm just 19 years old, so I don't have kids, but I remember back in the days when I was in Germany and I was still a student, my school started actually at 8 a.m. and I only had 15 minutes to go. But I always stood up at 6, sometimes at 6:30, just to solve family problems. So it's actually work also. I had to stand up, I had to do some emails, I had to write some letters, I had to make some calls, and whatever the problems were, I had to stand up at 6 or at 6:30. And I'm pretty sure that Elon Musk not really working 18 hours only on his company. He had to eat, he has family problems for sure. He had some problems with his girlfriend or whatever, which relationship he was, but he had problems beside his company. It's also called work for successful people, because everything you do that's not your free time, that's not relaxing, is actually work. The third point is not actually really surprising. It's obsession. See, the most successful people on earth are not really successful or being disciplined. They don't work 12 hours a day and that's it. It's because they're obsessed about what they're doing actually. I'm obsessed about marketing. I'm obsessed about doing, I don't know, calls, sales. I'm so obsessed of that. So I don't actually care about the time. I just do the work. Even if it's cost me 5 hours, even if it's too much work I put in it, I don't care. I just do the work. For another example, Jeff Bezos, like back in the days when he built up Amazon, I'm pretty sure like that he didn't look at his watch. He just worked and worked and worked. That's the same thing with me with marketing, the same thing with Elon Musk with Tesla or with SpaceX, and the same thing with Imagachi selling sunglasses. So you have to be so obsessed about your work that you actually don't look at the clock. And that's affected me so hard that I actually started working 12 hours, 13 hours, 14 hours per day without even realizing it. So let's move on to the next point. Limited time. See, having a goal is not a bad thing, but more necessarily, you have to put a time limit to achieve it. See, my mentor once told me, you can be successful and do a little work every day, but after 30 years, you might get what you ask for. But that's not how successful people think, right? They set up a goal and set up a time limit to achieve it so they can force themselves to work so hard a day so they can achieve it within 3 years or 5 years rather than 30 years or 40 years. But let's be honest on that point though. Like, I mean, the most successful person on earth now didn't get successful after 3 to 5 years. I mean, like Elon Musk failed 3 times in a row. But I think like the regular time of being successful or getting what you ask for, it's like 10 years, maybe 15 years. But setting up a goal with a time limit of 3 or 5 years to achieve it, like, I mean, you do more work per day, just naturally. Because if I accept the fact that I'm going to be successful in 10 or 15 years, I might be do less work because I'm more relaxed or less stressed about the fact I'm going to be successful after 10 years or in 10 years or in 15 years. But if I force myself to believe I'm going to be successful in 3 to 5 years, I have to be successful in 3 to 5 years, I'm more productive and I force myself to do more work because I'm more stressed about the fact that I have to be successful at that time. I mean, Elon Musk, it's obviously he works 80 hours per day, and it's only because he forced himself to achieve the goals. He once told someone, if you put your 3-year plan into 6 months, you will probably fail, but you will get so much work done that you actually be ahead of so many people. Ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, stop spending time with friends, families, or hobbies. Like, let me be clear on that. I have friends, I have families, I have hobbies. Like, back in the days when I was in Germany, when I was a student, I spent so much time with friends. I played piano, I played football, and I spent so much time with my family though also, like, but as soon as I built up the company, I met up so many successful person at the time, and they always told me, like, in order to become successful, you have to quit everything else, just work. Like, I mean, even if you have family problems and you are still responsible for that, of course you have to do it. There's no other way around. But putting your free time into families and friends or hobbies, it's taking so much time that you could be more efficient if you put it in work. Like I said, don't get me wrong, take care of your families, take care of your friends, have your hobbies, but don't make it too much. Like, don't be too comfort with friends and with families and with your hobbies. I know people who play football as a hobby, like they play in a club as a hobby and they're with their friends and stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, take care of your family, take care of your friends, take care of your hobbies. It's not a problem at all. But I know some people, even friends of mine, who spend 3 times a week their time to just play football. Like, if you're not willing to be successful in it, why do you put 3 times a week, like 2 hours 3 times a week, just into a hobby? It's like too much. And in order to be successful, like every successful person nowadays, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to put those hours into work and not really into like comfort, spending time with friends and stuff. And to be honest on that point though, you can have fun with friends and hobbies and stuff, but you also have to have fun in your work. Like, the most successful person on earth became successful because they also have fun in their work. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you now know the 5 reasons why the most successful person on earth works so hard per day. And even though I'm not successful yet, I don't have the million yet, I also work 12 hours, 14 hours per day just to be successful. In fact, I left my home country, I left my family, I left the comfort, the friends and everything behind just to be focused on my success. And with that being said, if you liked that video, just push the like button and comment, give me a feedback in the comments just for me to know if you like it or not. And if you have some topics in mind to discuss about, just give it in the comments, and we see you next time. Ladies and gentlemen, have a nice day.
Reichweite, keine Langeweile.